My Grandad marches on Anzac Day, written by Katarina Hoy and illustrated by Benjamin Johnson. Read to you by Miss Keating. Anzac Day is a special time to remember people who have died in wars. It is commemorated in towns and cities around Australia and New Zealand on the 25th of April every year. The word Anzac stands for Australian New Zealand Army Corps. On Anzac Day, people gather in the dark before dawn at their local war memorial. When the sun starts to rise, the dawn service begins. They say prayers and sing hymns, and there is a reading of the fourth verse of a poem called For the Fallen. Later in the morning, other community groups join the war veterans and they parade down the street. The war veterans wear the medals they've received for being brave in dangerous times. They all march to the war memorial and lay down wreaths of flowers. Between 1914 and 1918, many countries were at war. This is now called World War I, and it's when the Anzac tradition began. Gallipoli is a famous place in Turkey where Anzac troops landed on the 25th of April 1915, and many of them died. Every year, thousands of Australians travel to Gallipoli to attend the dawn service there on Anzac Day. They are joined by many people from other countries, including New Zealand and Turkey, to remember the people who died in the war. There have been other wars since World War I. There are very few granddads left from that war, but there are granddads and grandmas, mums and dads, and aunts and uncles who served in other wars, and they all march together on Anzac Day. The Ode. They shall not grow old as we that have left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn them. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. On Anzac morning, we get up very early. It's still dark. We wait at the memorial for the sun to come up. There are sad poems and singing. We say lest we forget. A bugle plays a lonely song. Then guns fire at the sky. Once, twice, 3 times. It makes me jump and scares the seagulls. Later we have cake and hot chocolate to warm us up. We find our spots for the parade. Daddy gives me a badge just like his. I sit on Daddy's shoulders. It's a very long wait. My Grandad will come. My Grandad marches on Anzac Day. He wears his best jacket and has shiny medals on his chest. He doesn't have much hair at his head, but he does have a big moustache. Grandad knows where we'll be waiting, and he always smiles at me. Lots of people are marching, their legs all moving in time. Some of them play music. I feel their drums boom in my chest. Grandad marches with his friends. He remembers when they were young. He remembers when he was young. He marches for all his friends who can't march. He marches for us. Some people can't walk. Some are pushed in wheelchairs. Some ride in cars. We clap and wave as they go past. Well done, boys, my dad calls out. They smile shyly and looked pleased. Once, long ago, there was a war, my daddy says. Many soldiers fought and died in a place called Gallipoli. Some were from Australia, some were from New Zealand. They were called Anzacs. They died in places with names like the Neck, Lone Pine and Anzac Cove. Their mums and dads waited, but they never came home. My Grandad marches to remember them. My Grandad wasn't there. My Grandad was in a different war. That's where he earned his medals. After the parade, my daddy says, "I'm proud of you, mate," to Grandad. He has tears in his eyes. Grandad is quiet. He's still remembering. One day I will march on Anzac Day, and I will do the remembering.